Now, the University of KZN academic, she's also a violence and criminality expert, Professor Mary de Haas, is set to testify before Parliament's ad hoc committee today. Suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu previously testified that her correspondence raising concerns about the KZN political killings task team influenced his decision to disband the unit. De Haas is expected to elaborate on those concerns. Let's take you live to Cape Town and to Newzroom Afrika Zoleka Qodashe, who is going to be tracking that story, Zoleka, from 11 o'clock this morning when the ad hoc committee convenes. And is it simplifying it too much to say that Mary de Haas advocated for the PKTT to be disbanded?
I think, Michelle, good morning. You've hit the nail on the head there, because that is the testimony of Minister that's now been placed on leave of absence, Senzo Mchunu, who actually said that Professor Mary de Haas, as well as Patricia Mashale, raised concerns around the workings of the PKTT, especially the manner in which it conducted itself in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And so they essentially called for the disbandment of the PKTT. Of course, the minister also making a U-turn at some point when he faced questions from parliamentarians in relation to why he took into consideration those submissions by Mary de Haas, Professor Mary de Haas, as well as Patricia Mashale, where he also said that essentially it was a number of various other factors that he took into consideration when he issued that all-important directive for the disbandment of the PKTT on the 31st of December last year. So we're expecting that Mashale, Professor Mary de Haas, will be essentially elaborating on those concerns that she's raised. You remember that when Qodashe appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee, he also called for the professor to be in the hot seat and explain what exactly she said to the minister when she raised certain concerns. But of course, there's also been backlash for the minister when he said that he relied on those considerations or on those that correspondence from the professor in relation to the disbandment of the PKTT, saying that those allegations were not tested and that in fact the minister should have used the same method in relation to hiring a third party to test the allegations. So remember that that is what he did when he called for the contract for Vusimuzi Katmadlala, that 360 million rand contract to be looked into. So let's just listen to what the MK party's Sibonelo Nomvalo said in relation to this submission that was made by the minister.
If you agree with me on that, then it means you acted with negligence because you failed to test them.
Not necessarily. I've already said what they were saying in those emails and correspondence. There were other concerns raised by other people for cross-checking, and I found that, yes, I may not have ordered an inquiry, but what this one is saying sounds the same, or it looks the same, or is similar to what the other person is saying, and therefore it is a factor, and I went on, and there was plenty of time for me ahead, after the decision, to do the actual testing. Hence, I discussed a possible inquiry with a special advisor.